Hello, welcome to True Crime and Tarot. I am Natalie, and today's case is on Alexis S. Patterson. So, Alexis Patterson was born on April the 14th, 1995, and the place of birth was in Milwaukee, in Wisconsin. Her hair colour is black, her eye colour is brown, and her height was 3 foot 8 at the time of her disappearance, and she was weighing 42 pounds. Alexis was last seen wearing a red hooded jacket with a grey stripe on the sleeves and also a purple shirt, a light coloured blue jeans, and white Nike tennis shoes. And she wore her hair in two braids that was pulled back into a ponytail. And with this, she was carrying a pink Barbie book bag. Alexis was reported missing by her own mother on Friday, May the 3rd, 2002. Alexis was last seen in the area of Highmount School located at 4921 West Garfield Street in Milwaukee, Wisconsin at approximately 8 a.m. She was reportedly dropped off by her stepfather. If anyone has any information regarding this case, then they are to contact the local FBI or the field office in Milwaukee. Alexis has a scar below her right eye and she has her ears pierced, and her nickname is Lexi and Pie. She is right-handed, and Alexis resides with her mother and her stepfather, Ayana and Laron Bourgeois, in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And Laron walked into Alexis High Mount Boulevard School in the 4920 block of West Garfield Avenue near the 49th Street at approximately 8 a.m. And this was on May the 3rd, 2002. Alexis was a first grader, and also she was a student there at that school. The school is less than one block from her own family's home. Laron had said that he had watched Alexis walk towards the playground before he headed back to their residence, and Alexis never attended classes during that day, although students did report seeing her crying on the playground. This was before and after school, and she has never been heard from since again. Ayana and Laron were not notified about Alexis' absence until after school was dismissed in the afternoon, and they had initially believed that she refused to attend classes because of some type of argument she had with her mother in that morning. Ayana said that Alexis failed to properly complete her own work during the previous evening, and she was not allowed to bring cupcakes in for her classmates for the following day at school, and this was the result. The authorities agreed with the scenario and said that something may have caused Alexis's disappearance, and after she was seen in the school's playground later that day. So she does not have a history of running away, and they had some type of perfect attendance record at her school as well prior to her disappearance. She was a very good student. And the surrounding areas were searched immediately around the school and around that area after Alexis was reported missing. The investigators had canvassed the nearby Washington Park, where there was a lot of divers that searched the lagoon that was near there. The authorities had focused on a certain area that was near Mayneck Avenue, Vine Street, the 16th Street, and the 60th Street in the northwest section of the city, and there was no evidence that was discovered by all means at any of their locations. And the investigators had announced that Alexis's disappearance was under a very suspicious circumstance, and it was reclassified her case from a missing child to a criminal investigation by May the 14th. Some of Alexis's classmates had told the police that they had seen a red truck that was parked near the school for most of the week before her disappearance, and the truck never dropped anyone off or picked anyone up from the school, and it had disappeared after Alexis had vanished near and never to be seen again or never to be heard from again either, and it is not being identified, and it is unknown if it is connected to a case or not. Alexis's father, Kenya Campbell, then was imprisoned in Milwaukee at the time of her disappearance, and he was released shortly afterwards and cooperated with the authorities at the time of the searching. As did Ayana and Laron. They also was very, very into the case and did a lot with that. And Alexis's stepfather also has a criminal history as well. Also, but the investigators had announced that they did not believe either Laron or Campbell's past was connected to the Alexis's case. Laron failed a polygraph test after Alexis's disappearance and was charged in an unrelated crime in 2003, a year after Alexis had vanished. And he had a domestic dispute with Ayana, who had been trying to leave him for some time and was ordered to stay away from her. Ayana had described Laron as an abusive and threatening person that was towards her. The criminal charges was later dropped. However, Ayana and Laron had then divorced in 2005. Laron had died then in 2021 at the age of 52, apparently of a drug overdose. Foul play was very much suspected in Alexis's case, and her disappearance is also remaining unsolved to this day. The investigating agency then is Milwaukee Police Department, and their number to call if anyone has any information whatsoever is 414-935-7401 or 414-935-7302, or Milwaukee County Sheriff's Department on 414-278-4788. This is where I decided to come in and do a tarot card reading on this case to see what I could pick up and what will come in. And there is 4 questions that I had asked then. So number 1, what had happened then to Alexis? 2, who was involved in her disappearance? 3, where is Alexis now? And 4, what is the final outcome to be for her case? So number 1, what happened to Alexis Patterson? And we had the 3 of Swords that came out. So Alexis was very much heartbroken and she was very upset. Reverse 2 of Cups, there was a lot of disharmony and unhappiness. Queen of Cups, there was a female who was very loving and nurturing. She was very kind, or she seemed this way, and she was very supportive and who had been around Alexis at this time. Queen of Swords, there was a female who was very reserved and strong. She was private, that was a problem solver who had a lot of sadness, who was around Alexis or who had been in contact with Alexis at this time. Death card, there was some goodbyes and it was a family shock and accepting what is. Reverse 9 of Wands, so Alexis was a stubborn child who wanted her own way. There was someone who was a bit standoffish, who looked very suspicious, and they had the sense of extreme paranoia going on. Reverse Ace of Wands, there was some challenge and someone that was not up to doing certain something. There was a lot of hesitation and it was to do with some type of unfinished business. Reverse 3 of Cups, there was an enemy that was in disguise and there was a third person who was involved in some way and there was competitiveness. Reverse 3 of Pentacles, there was carelessness, acts and mistakes that was being taken place. Reverse 4 of Cups, there was a lot of motivation and being focused, and there was opportunities, and there was someone who was very spaced out on drugs. 6 of Cups, there was a sense of familiarity about a certain person who had been in contact with Alexis, and there was that emotional security and being cared for and wanting to take her on. Reverse Hierophant, so Alexis had left the school and she was very rebellious and made her own decision to leave. Reverse Two of Pentacles. There was a lot of demands that was very overwhelming for Alexis. Two of Wands. There was some decision whether to stay or go. There may have been a travelling near water or over water. Reverse Nine of Pentacles. There may have been some prostitution that was involved and a cover-up that was involved in some type of damaged property that she may have been at the time. Reverse Moon. There was a lot of fears and putting the past in the past, but there was hidden things that eventually is going to start coming to light. Hermit. There was a lot of loneliness and laying low from everyone. Eight of Cups. There was the sense of walking away, having enough and turning their back, and she was left to feel abandoned and weary, being very shy and timid. Reverse Four of Swords. So there was someone who may have been in jail but got out around the time of Alexis's disappearance, and also there may have been a close death experience or an actual death. Queen of Wands. There was a female who was very strong and independent, very fearless and friendly and protective, who was involved in some way. Who was involved in the disappearance of Alexis? Reverse Page of Cups. There was someone who may have been an ex of someone close to Alexis that was emotionally immature and obsessive, that was insecure, who may have had some type of childhood issues or some abuse. The Knight of Swords. There was a sudden arrival of a direct, chatty person who took action, that was a risk taker, who was very clever and argumentative and was very daring. Reverse Temperance. They did some inappropriate behaviour. They also had the sense of recklessness and had some consequences. Four of Pentacles. There was a miser. There was also selfishness about this person who kept to themselves and they kept it on the low. Reverse Knight of Cups. There was a manipulative male who was very cunning, who kept obsessing. They had some trouble going on with themselves. They was involved in sex work and drugs and alcohol abuse. Where is Alexis Patterson now? Reverse Judgment. There is someone who was arrested or in court that is doing some sentencing that is involved in where Alexis is. Devil. Alexis is trapped in a violent situation and is hiding and is around a controlling person where she is tied and chained. Reverse King of Pentacles. There is a male who is a risk taker that's in a lot of debt, that is very much broke and angry. He's cold, possessive and involved in this abuse. Five Pentacles. There is misery and hunger. There is struggling and being homeless, being lonely and desperate. What is the final outcome for Alexis's case? We have the Lovers card. So there is to be a next level of commitment in the case. There is to be a couple that is to come together that was involved. King of Wands. There is a male who is very strong, who is powerful, a protector, that is very well respected and is a risk taker, that is also competitive as well. He's very friendly and assertive, that is to be involved in trying to solve this case. Chariot. There is some movement in the case. There is to be victory and success and a car-related connection that is involved that has been hiding all this time, that is going to be coming to light. Reverse Fool. There is an impulsive, reckless person who has done inappropriate mistakes and also is to do with unfinished business, that was very frustrated, who needed to get away. Justice. There is to be triumph and justice for Alexis and her family. There is to be truth being finally free and coming out. Reverse Seven of Cups. There is to be clarity and someone who is going to be very clueless, who is spaced out. There is some priorities and responsibilities that is to be taken for Alexis's disappearance. Four Wands. There is to be winning of the case. There is going to be a gathering, a reunion and justice. Okay then, so that is the case of Alexis S. Patterson and what I could get from the tarot cards. If you enjoy my videos, please like, share, subscribe, hit that notification, and if there's any other cases you would like me to do, feel free to comment in the comment section below. Till next time, take care.